Hello everybody, my name is Moon, I work for KayBoops, and today I'm going to give you guys my review on Jihyo's first solo project titled Zone. I've only been a fan of K-pop for less than a year now, but I'm basically an expert at this point and I will not be accepting any sort of criticism that I might receive. I'm also going to be using some Roblox gameplay in the background because I heard that's what keeps people's attention nowadays. Okay, so without further ado, here's my review of Zone by Jihyo. Killing Me Good uses the disco-esque sound much better than when Twice did it earlier in the year with Set Me Free. It adds much more soulful elements while also still remaining to be groovy and funky. I do think this song does stand out in the massive ocean of songs that have all been using this resurging disco sound that has been popular for the past few years now. And I guess it can mainly be attributed to the fact that Jihyo's able to sing with much force and strength in her voice in higher and lower tones compared to a lot of other singers. Also, the post-chorus on the song is quite possibly my favorite part of it. Like, I know Jihyo kills the rest of the song, but that post-chorus is what really wants me to keep listening to the song and wanting to keep hearing it more and more. Now for the score. I'm going to give this song a score of 4 out of 5 boops. I'll explain what a boop is later, but the basic explanation for this is that I think this song is worth checking out, even if you don't like Twice's sound, because Jihyo definitely stands out here as a soloist. This song also sets some higher expectations as to what kind of stuff Jihyo has been cooking up for the rest of the album. So hopefully my expectations don't get shattered, cause that will make me very sad. Oh, and one last note. I am a bit jealous that they didn't accept my application to be the mystery man in the music video. But I do think it's cool that they decided to have Nayeon make a cameo in the video instead. I just want to start off and say that I've never really liked 24kGoldn's music. I'm saying that, but I have only ever listened to 2 of his songs before this album, and one being that song with Ian Dior, and that song in and of itself gave me no reason to continue listening to more of him. But to get to the actual song, I just don't really like it. Like, for starters, I just really feel like the drop and the chorus is really underwhelming. It doesn't really make me, want to listen to the song. It's very run-of-the-mill generic drop that's associated with these type of like pumped up festival type of songs. So it's not really, the chorus, the part that you're trying to want to like listen to the most, isn't already doing a great job at it. At least in my opinion, it kind of just goes a super safe route that is probably going to get its streams, but it doesn't really improve the quality of the song whatsoever, at least in my opinion. It just kind of reminds me of background music at a music festival that you get tired of hearing after it plays for the 13th time. However, while I am calling it boring festival music, I do think that it still gets its job done. What I mean by that point is that I feel like in the proper setting, this song can be enjoyable and listenable to a certain extent, but I feel like most of the time there's just much better options for this type of music, and I just feel like this song went the really safe route and just fell flat on its face in terms of its execution of actually trying to be, a festival song that hypes you up. I just don't really feel like it accomplishes that well. The little humming M's are a pretty nice touch to an otherwise basic and kind of tiresome chorus. The feature by 24K is also nothing special. It doesn't really add much to the song in the grand scheme of things. However, most rap features on these type of songs are just bad in my opinion, so I won't fault 24K much for it. The song is okay to listen to a few times, but I feel like this type of music in general kind of just loses its replay value really quickly. And while the song is completely in English, and with English being my third language, I'm able to understand it really well. With the lyrics that were chosen for the song, I kind of just hoped that it wasn't in English, because it doesn't really help or like contribute to the meaning of the song. The song is only working for the chorus, and since the chorus itself is just very underwhelming, even with me knowing what the song's about, I just don't really feel like this song being in English benefits it any sort of way. It just kind of reveals that this song is meant for Western music festivals, or just to be streamed on Western music charts. Okay, I'll stop dogging on the song now, but I'm just gonna give it a rating of 2 out of 5 boops, honestly. While I do think this song is listenable in the right circumstances, as well as the little humming M's that she does in the chorus being a nice touch, I feel like this song overall just bores me more than it pumps me up, so I can't really recommend this song unless you enjoy this type of music. P.S. Twice themselves got to meet 24kGoldn, so I am a little jealous that he got to meet them. But after listening to the song, my honest reaction to it was just Jihyo's face in this pic with her and 24kGoldn. Well, look what we have here. It seems that Jihyo knew that Spanish is my 4th language, so she decided to drop this Latin-inspired club song on her album just for me, just to make me happy. Well, let's see if it makes me happy. While it is a softer club song, you can still kind of feel the rhythm of the song in you while you're listening to it, which is pretty nice. However, this song does lose some brownie points with me because of 2 reasons. 1, this song is pretty short. This reason might be more of a me problem, but I always prefer longer songs over shorter songs, and especially since it's like a dance/club type song, I feel like it could have been longer and should have been longer. The second reason also kind of goes in line with the first reason, but this song just feels like it's baby's first steps into making Latin club music. What I mean by this is that this song feels like it was made by someone that's just barely dipping their toes into the pool that is Latin club music, which makes it sound super bare bones compared to what it could have been. Now, I'm not saying that I want Jihyo to just straight up start spitting some bars in Spanish, but I do feel like a longer song with more dynamic verses would have made for a better listening experience. Honestly though, this song took the longest for me to give it a rating, but as of right now, I'm gonna give the song a rating at 2 out of 5 boops. I feel like this song's short and sweet approach doesn't give it much staying power, but I wouldn't mind listening to this song in a proper setting, to be honest. P.S. As a Latino myself, we happily honor Jihyo as a Latina. I just want to start off by saying that the production on this song is very goofy, but in kind of like a cute and endearing kind of way. It kind of just reminds me of like songs that like some like 12-year-old would make, trying to make like a gaming intro with all these like cool like techno sounding sounds and all these spaceship thingies in the background, like just trying to sound super cool. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just like what a cringy kid does. But you know, I can't really fault the song too much for that. I guess it's just a personal problem that it reminds me of those type of songs, you know. But I do feel like this like sort of production style that they went for also kind of makes it cute and endearing, because it kind of makes it feel more like cutesy dootsy, because it's more amateurish. So it doesn't sound like it's like so professionally manufactured that it's supposed to sound perfect. It kind of sounds like it was made from someone, you know, who's trying to make the song sound more endearing and not super over the top and overproduced. It sounds more down to earth and more relatable, honestly. Enough about the production already. I just want to say that this song's chorus is one of those choruses that can either make or break the song for some people, since it is very R&B focused and cheesy. But for me, this chorus makes the song. It is such a soothing thing to hear, and despite me being afraid to talk to a woman, it reminds me so much of those romantic movie scenes where there's like a couple just sitting on a field watching the stars. The verses themselves also help in creating this very cutesy dootsy mood, albeit being very cheesy in the process as well. It kind of reminds me of an older Umi song, which is a good thing in my opinion. Jihyo's voice overall sounds great on it as well, especially her ad-libs towards the end. This song is just a breath of fresh air compared to what we've rated so far in the album. As for the rating of the song, I do feel like this song is also kind of difficult for me to rate, mainly because I've been ping-ponging between a rating of 3 and 4, but ultimately I am rating this song a 4 just because of how calming and soothing this song can be in the chorus, despite some of my gripes that I do have with the song. I just want to start off by saying Heise's voice is very strange to listen to, but I love it. I've never heard of them before, but I am definitely tempted to listen to some of their other stuff after I've heard them in this song. Heinz's voice, when it comes together with Jihyo's voice at the very end, creates such a dichotomy in sounds that is so pleasant to both my ears and my brain. Like, Jihyo's voice alongside Heise's is such a good combination to hear that it really enhances your listening experience. So the way that the song is structured, it's obviously, building upon to the final third of the song where Jihyo and Heise are, singing the chorus together and actually doing their duet properly. But in the same sense, at least for me, it kind of just makes the first 2/3 of the song redundant. And I don't know if that doesn't really make sense, since, that's how most songs work, is that, it always builds to that final, very glamorous final chorus. But I think with just the fact that I kind of like the final chorus so much more than everything else, it kind of negatively, if I know how to say the word negatively, impacts my listening experience to the point where I'm just waiting for that final chorus, because I just think it's too good to the point where it detrimentally makes the rest of the song kind of, a slog to listen to, or it's not really worth my time as much as the final chorus. Besides that point not really making much sense, this song is really enjoyable to listen to, and I do like how it has a longer runtime compared to the rest of the songs of the album, as like I said before, prefer longer songs. However, as can be seen with my rating of 3 out of 5 boops, this song is both helped and hindered by the duet with Heise. Don't get me wrong, it's very enjoyable, and that last third of the song is one of the best things on this entire album, but I do feel like the song overall doesn't hit the same as the other songs that I've already rated at 4 out of 5 boops. Now, this is the song review that I might get a lot of negative flack for. At least from what I've seen on the internet, it seems that this song seems to be a favorite for many people, but unfortunately, I am definitely not one of them. I'm not gonna lie, this chorus is very easygoing, very soothing, very subdued. It's very enjoyable to listen to. That's a perfectly fine chorus for me. It's just that the rest of the song, besides the chorus, doesn't really live up to what the chorus is trying to, set up, and I just think it kind of just makes the song fall flat as a result of that. It just leaves me wanting more from the song itself, as even though it has an almost 3-minute runtime, the song feels so much shorter than that, just because the chorus is the only talking point, at least in my opinion, of the song. And it just ends up making me more bored of the song rather than me trying to properly enjoy it. After listening to this song a few times, it kind of just feels like it was much better made for Chaeyoung rather than Jihyo herself. It's soft tone, it's very slow and easygoing. It's a very mellow song that fits Chaeyoung's vibe and her overall vocal much better than it does for Jihyo, because I don't think she really excels in this type of song. I'm gonna quickly give the song a rating of 2 boops out of 5 before a mob of people with pitchforks and torches are knocking on my door, because I will not be surprised if many people do not agree with this rating at all. but it's just like, aside from the chorus, this song doesn't really grab me into the vibe it's trying to set. Now this is the stuff that I've been waiting for, the stuff that I was honestly expecting more out of when I first, heard that Jihyo was getting a solo album. Nightmare was actually first shown during the Twice tour this year as Jihyo's solo performance, and I was lucky enough to see it twice. I was expecting this song to be a thunderous showing of her vocals based on what I saw live, and it delivered upon this very well. This song reminds me a lot of her cover of Crown, which I also very much enjoyed. Despite me really liking this song, I don't feel like there's really much for me to say about the song besides it just being a display of Jihyo's powerful voice that is able to match very mature themes and badass sounding production. The song is also 3.5 minutes long, which is just like my sweet spot for song lengths. Honestly, this song kind of makes me hate the rest of the album, mainly because I was expecting more of the songs on the album to be similar in vein to this and to her cover of Crown. But instead on the album, we got things like Talking About It. I do have more to say to that point, but I'm gonna save that for my overall thoughts on the album. Seriously though, this song captures everything that I think Jihyo is able to do that sets her apart from other artists, especially from the other members of Twice. So that leads me to giving this song a strong 4 boops out of 5. This song is honestly just a really good and enjoyable listening experience if you like this type of song. And it was even better listening to this song live and have it be actually performed in front of me. While I did compliment the production of this song, the one gripe I do have with this song overall is that I feel like the production could have gone a little harder and a bit more heavy hitting, because what we got is a little more subdued in terms of what I think the song could have gone, and made it just feel much more powerful. But what we got is still very much enjoyable, and I'm not, too upset about it. This album as a whole has some high points and shows a lot of variety from Jihyo, both in the genres she tries tackling as well as the lyrics and production that she chose to accompany most of these songs. However, I believe that this album's low points also comes from this very broad approach that the album tries to do by including such differing sounds from song to song, which ultimately leads to some of the songs feeling a bit undercooked in how they came out. Recommendation time. Would I recommend this album? I feel like in order to properly answer this question, I kind of need to explain what boops are and what a 3 boop rating means. So as you can kind of tell, boops are very strongly associated with a star ranking, and of course with star rankings, the more stars you get or more stars you give something, the more you enjoy it or like it. And since in this case I gave it 3 boops, I feel like I would only really strongly recommend this album if you're invested in Twice or invested in Jihyo as a soloist, because I feel like this album is a good starting point for her. And if you're already invested in Jihyo as a character and as an artist, then you're probably gonna get much more enjoyment out of it than me, even though I am invested in Twice. I feel like there's people that are gonna enjoy this more, like especially with some of the songs I rated kind of low. I can feel like some people would enjoy it more than I did, so I would recommend it to those type of people that already have a strong bond with Twice or Jihyo. However, outside of that, I wouldn't strongly recommend this album. I did rate it 3 boops, so I do think it's decent. However, as a whole, I feel like there's some songs that don't really hit that hard and are kind of just stinkers compared to some of the standouts. So I'm not gonna be adamantly recommending this album. I would rather recommend some of its better songs, but overall I don't think it's a bad album. I think it's a very listenable album, and it's not that long either, so I would kind of recommend it only if you're really invested in Twice and Jihyo though. What song do I recommend? I'm gonna kind of already break my own rules on my very first video, but I'm gonna say that Killing Me Good and Nightmare are both of the songs that I would recommend to somebody. Killing Me Good for those who are looking for a liberating groovy / funk tune, or Nightmare for those who are trying to enjoy Jihyo's vocals while also feeling like a badass. Wow, you made it to the end of the video. I feel kind of sorry for you. Now, as you can kind of tell, this was my first video on this channel. So, in the comments, besides the ones that are getting mad at me for some of the ratings I gave on these songs, I would, appreciate some feedback and some criticism, honestly, as to the style of video that I made. And as you can kind of tell with the name of this channel, it's KayBoops. So, I'm going to be almost exclusively covering K-pop, which, newsflash, that's what the name's based off on. Anyways, K-pop as a genre is something very new to me, like I mentioned earlier. It's been less than a year now that I've been invested into this genre, and I'm kind of just ready to see all the different things it has to offer, because from what I've seen, it borrows a lot from other genres, and of course, adds its own little flair to it. So I'm kind of ready to see what other artists and groups do with it. So of course, that leads to me also wanting some comments as to what other groups I should check out. I've kind of been holding off on checking out new groups because I've been kind of, planning on making this channel for a while, and I kind of want to give the groups like my first proper listen when I'm trying to give them ratings and actually give them the time of day to actually listen to an artist's discography or their newest album, stuff like that. So with that, I would greatly appreciate if you guys would also comment some groups I should check out, because Twice is kind of the main group that I listen to right now. It's the group that got me into K-pop in the first place, so you can thank them for this channel and this video existing. But for real though, I am going to be going back and doing all of Twice's discography and ranking it or rating it as well. But at the same time, I'm going to be trying to just do whatever people recommend in the comment section and just base it off of that as well, because I kind of, like I said, want to branch off of just not only listening to 5 or 6 groups that I do right now. That's enough talking. This outro is long enough. I very much thank you for watching this video so far. Thank you for dealing with this train wreck. Alright, I don't know how to do this whole outro thing. Bye, I guess.